All right, hello. Okay, well, Marty, I hope you like Meatloaf. Okay, this is a scene, as you've guessed it, from Back to the Future, um, and this is really initially what got me looking at Meatloaf. Um, that and maybe I'm thinking, I'd seen him in something else, and I was like, um, I just put the two together, you know. And so, anyway, we're going to go from this scene in Back to the Future with this link to Meatloaf here, and we're going to go and look at Meatloaf, not the hunk of meat, but the with tomato ketchup all over the top, or whatever the hell that stuff is on top of. We're going to look at the singer Meatloaf, okay? Because we're going to tie this into the 1011 or the 1110 of either the dollar bill decode. If you don't know what I'm talking about right now, please go back, watch some of my previous videos. But that's our end date. I think it's the beginning and the end in the dollar bill is is that date. It might not be the beginning, but I think it's the end date. It's the completion. Okay, 10 is the completion of the cycle. So 1110, November the 10th, and October the 11th, which is, I believe, encoded more into Back to the Future, with some of the number jumps we do in Back to the Future and some of the dates that we choose, and it's all in previous videos. But the 11th of October is the one for Back to the Future, and funnily enough, we've got a 33 that splits those dates from 9/11. We go 30 days to the October the 11th, and then we go another 30 days to the 10th of November. Okay, so we have that 3 and 3, 33 jump right there. Okay, and to cut a long story short, because some of you people might not have watched my previous video, if you just happen to be stumbling on this now, there is also a 7700 day jump. So we've got the 77 encoded as well, from 9/11 to this year on October the 11th, and then we do another 7700 day jump, so another 77 encoded there, and that takes us to the November date of the 10th of November. Okay, and that's in like 2043. So it's a 21-year jump and then another 21-year jump. So we have a total of 42 years. Okay, so we have this 33, we have the 77 encoded, we have the 42 encoded, the 21. Quite significant numbers. Okay, and a lot of connections to Elvis there, of course. But anyway, this video, I'm already waffling. I apologize. Let's get into blooming Meatloaf here, because this is interesting. Okay, so let's go to his like film stuff first. I don't know if that's the right way to do this or not, but whatever. And of course, he's been in actually a ton of films. Been in Wayne's World, Rocky Horror, Roadie. I think was a big film, but I've not seen it. Funnily enough, I the somewhere down here he's in Spice Girls something or other. Actually, I don't know if it's even is it. I don't know if it's even on here. Anyway, I don't know. But he's in a lot of films. But there was one that stood out to me, and this is what kind of reignited my desire to get this video done, because this is, like I said, this is just one of these videos that's been on the back burner for a while. But I saw a finis temporis, an 88 finis temporis video on Fight Club. I'll link it below. It's really good. And there's a ton of 911 references in that film, and I'm like, you know what? It blew me away, the amount of references in that film. And I was like, I'm gonna have to just go back and revisit this, because I was aware that that Meatloaf was in the film, and I tell you what, we're going to go to it in a minute, and we're going to have a quick look at it, and it won't disappoint, I can assure you. But let's see what it's, let's see one of these other films first that was kind of the clincher for me, and you've probably already spotted it right here. Here, Leap of Faith, okay, where he's playing Hoover. That was the clincher for me between that clipping Back to the Future and Meatloaf. But I can assure you, it gets better than this. All right, so just hang in there, and just put up with my waffle for a bit longer. Okay. So Leap of Faith. Okay, this is Steve Martin. He's a con man. We can go through all of this. I mean, this symbolism here. This is the dam down here. Look, the blue big top, the dome here. There's 4 upright columns coming out of it. The 4 inlet towers, like at the Hoover Dam. Okay. We have in fact, I just watched another video, 88 finis temporis videos, and he was mentioning the Hospice Maria. Okay, that symbol of the M and the A that come together. Okay, and he's mentioned that several times in older videos as well, I think. I'm sure I've seen it in some of his older stuff, and I think I've come across that in other people's stuff as well. But anyway, getting sidetracked. But here it is. Here's the double X here. Here's the double cross of the A and the V coming together. The Avi, yeah. And in fact, in that in that video, he's playing Ave Maria or whatever it's called. And there it is. The A and the V coming together. Anyway, here he is. Here's Steve Martin, the con man, is basically reborn in this film. And what ends up happening, actually, I'll just go through it because it's actually interesting anyway, is there's a kid. Of course, Steve Martin's selling these false hopes of being cured. He's like a miracle preacher or whatever. And spoiler alert, and this one kid who is played by Lucas Haas here. I don't know how you say that, but he's the guy. He's the kid that has the miracle, okay, and he's in leg braces, okay. This thing with it's a bit like Forrest Gump when the leg braces come off. But the leg braces basically come off in that film. That's the miracle, and that changes Steve into a good man now, I guess, or puts him back on a righteous path. And also, we have that encoding of the Twin Towers. Again, right now the Twin Towers they're in a stranglehold. Yeah, the equals sign, the 2 legs are bound. Yeah, they're behind bars, right? And that's the coming free part, in the Twin Towers coming. Basically, the re-establishment of the Twin Towers. Pretty cool stuff. We got the corona down the bottom here again with the eclipse at the bottom here, and this is the ring of fire here, the corona. There's a ton of stuff just in this cover. Don't even have to really go and get into the film at all, really, but that's done. Okay, the link here is he's the bus driver, and he plays the bus driver. Meatloaf plays the bus driver in a number of films that he does, actually. And we'll look at the Gematria on bus driver here in a little bit. But again, Hoover. Okay, so that was kind of the clincher for me. And then, of course, we go look at the squeeze, because the squeeze, let's look at the squeeze. Here we've got the Twin Towers, okay. Michael Keaton, okay. It's not a great film, but but anyway, you get it. You get the symbolism, okay? And actually, we'll go to the film now because there's something interesting in that film, and I've got a clip. And you won't find this on YouTube actually, so this is worth putting in here. Okay, this is a scene. Spoiler alert: this is a scene where Meatloaf's about to croak it. He's about to die. Okay, so we have the character Meatloaf that plays Hoover is about to die. Okay, just some stuff that's on here on the side of the desk here. The Michelin Man reminds me of the Stay Puft, in Ghostbusters, and we even have the Statue of Liberty here. I think this is the Statue of Liberty. Again, I mean, that's been, that's in a number of films. So, but again, Ghostbusters 2 even, where the Red River is running to the art museum, and that thing that Red River that engulfs that thing, which is actually sort of a purpley, actually it's a magenta, if you're into matter, quantum of conscience, that magenta color, the control system, that whole building represents the temple, and that thing has to be kind of opened up again. The bad stuff has to be got rid of. Anyway, waffling, here we go. We got the vessel, the cup of Christ, the spittoon in Back to the Future 3. So we got, just some interesting references here. You can pick out what you want. You could go on for hours just on these things, but let's just do let's do this thing, and I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to edit out some bits, so it might be a bit jumpy here. We've got the start of the little fight scene, and she's going to threaten him with I think it's the Empire State, with a nice pointy bit on the end. Okay. Let me just get to the death scene now. There's actually some interesting stuff on the wall. I didn't know if those were dollar bills or what in the background there. Anyway, here we've got Hoover is dead, okay, and he's been pierced through the heart by the looks of it, So the needle going through the heart, through the balance point here. I don't know. Anyway, he's going to stand up, and this is another little interesting little reference. So yeah, we've got the thing sticking through him, and we've also got the Empire State Building on fire here. I hope that's the Empire State Building. I'm guessing that's what it is. Okay, because that actually ties back to another nice little thing with, again, this ties back to 9/11 through through this thing here. Through this, through the Empire State Building, the B, of course, it's a 25. Okay, the P-25. We know all about those references, and actually look at the date as well, July the 29th. Okay, 28th. Sorry, I'm thinking 29th because the 29th is the 29th the White Wedding. I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, yeah, I mean, here we go. Here's the Empire State plane crash into the tower, and again we've got Meatloaf with a blooming tower on fire through his heart here. I mean, it's an interesting way to die. Anyway, let's leave that one alone for a bit, because there's a ton of stuff in that film, but it's kind of it's a different film, you know what I mean? So let's go back to some of these other ones, but I want to do this Fight Club thing, okay? Right, I want to go to the Fight Club because that's really interesting as well. Let's do Fight Club. Where is it? I got it here. Okay. So what's about to happen in this scene is Tyler has sent everybody out on missions, right? And they're causing all this destruction and havoc and everything. And here we've got I can't remember the other guy's name, but we've got Meatloaf and another guy. And in fact, we'll probably see him later on in this clip. But they're about to blow up this art piece and I think destroy a coffee shop as well or something. But this is super interesting, this art piece. Okay, so we've got this semicircular type water feature. Here's the little fountains, and there's a bunch of water down the bottom here. And what do we have in the middle of this thing? Stuck in the middle, we've got the Golden Globe. Yeah, the sun is stuck in the middle. Okay, and we've got another nice little reference to the penis here. Okay, here's the top of the penis. You notice that? Okay, and again, this thing is stuck in the. In fact, that's actually probably a video for another day, talking about circumcision and the sort of the sort of meaning of what's going on there. But this is the sun trapped in the crescent here, trapped in the moon. Okay, trapped inside the Hoover Dam right here. Okay, this is the water feature. Yeah, with the wall, the curved wall of the Hoover Dam here. Here's the water inside. Here's the pool that this thing's stuck in. Okay, and what I'll do is I'm just gonna play this, and I'm gonna edit between the clips. Okay, so again, this might be a bit jumpy. Okay, so they've just done that little explosion thing. They're running off. Here goes the sun is being freed. Okay, here it is. Now you can see the sun rolling out of there, and the water flows out. Okay, I mean, super interesting. There's the clip. That's the Hoover Dam getting blown up. That's man being reborn. Okay, there's probably some more bits and bobs in here, but let's just keep it simple. Okay. Another interesting thing, while we're on the subject of with the circumcision, there's also another little interesting thing, which is the character that Meatloaf plays. He's the first guy that Tyler kind of interacts with, I think, and so there's a kind of a special place for him with Tyler. Okay, and what actually Meatloaf is wearing a bodysuit with breasts. Okay, so the point of this is that he's a recovering testicular cancer patient, and so he's been basically been castrated, is what's happened. So he's without his balls, right? He's without the number 8. Yeah, the 1 and the 8. The 18 is no longer it's no longer an 18 anymore. Okay, he's been emasculated. I don't know what the word is. Emasculated? Is that the right word? Oh my gosh, I don't know. He is no longer a man, right? He's had his balls took, which is what the system does. Okay, that's what the system does. Without those balls, the rest of the pipework doesn't work correctly, does it? Well, it probably does, but the point is, it doesn't really work properly. Okay, and so what am I thinking here? That's what the system does. Okay, you know, when you're within the system, you're no longer a man anymore. The system's it's taking care of you. Yeah, the nanny state is taking care of you. You're being babied. Okay, you've not reached that age of maturity anymore, right? You've gone in reverse. You're just a child now. You're not a man anymore, and that's the point of the removal of the testicles there and him growing breasts. Yeah, so that's what it's showing you there, and we see it within the physical world, with the way people, the way people are in society. All this sex change stuff going on. Okay, all this same-sex relationships, all that kind of stuff is basically because we've come out of nature, basically because we live in a society now that accepts those things, which is fine. It's fine to do those things, but the problem is, without sounding like, I don't want to sound terrible on this, but the problem is, the more you put that stuff out there, the more you step away from nature, and there's something to be said for being in those natural rhythms and cycles and stuff. The more you step away from that thing, it's just it's like a snowball rolling downhill. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's not. It's not natural. Okay, let's just put it that way. It's not a natural thing. Okay, we can still accept people for what they want to be and what they want to do and all that stuff. But let's face facts. It's not a natural thing. Yeah, let's leave it at that, because otherwise we get into everybody starts getting all wound up and upset about it all. But that's the removal of the balls and the growing of the breasts. You're becoming a woman. You're becoming so far into the system. Yeah, you're becoming what the system is, which is a kind of it's just an absurd mishmash of everything that's not on the divine path, basically. Oh man, I'm really digging here, really digging myself a hole. But anyway, what more do I want to say about this Meatloaf thing? Again, that reference there with the head of the penis. We might as well just do the circumcision thing now while we're on the topic of wieners and all the rest of it, and balls. The removal of that skin at the top of the penis, right? What does that do? Yeah, does that look like an eye at the top of the penis? I'm not going to say what people call it, because that might be a racial slur, but that eye, I think I'm turning Japanese, that eye there, the removal of the covering, the sheath, the covering of that thing, yeah, the eyelid is open now, okay? So this idea of circumcision is the idea of opening the eye, yeah? When does the eye open? The eye opens naturally opens when the 1 is going to go into the 0, okay? So this having your eyes open, having your eye open, yeah, is all about being able to see both sides of reality, being able to see, beyond just being able to see, through the gate, if you like, to both sides. And that happens right before the wiener goes into the cha-cha. Okay, I don't want trying to keep this PG. Okay, but I mean, I don't know. What more to say about it? So you get this idea of what's God's people being circumcised. Okay, and then what happens is people take that literally, and then they go and start hacking pieces of their own body off. Absolutely nuts. But that's the reference there. That eye being able to see through to the other side of reality. And that is at the point when that thing, when that cover is removed, when the black pearl is removed off the sun, yeah, that's when that thing can see both sides of reality. Okay, I don't know how better to explain it than that, but that's what circumcision is all about. And again, what do people do? They take it also literally, and then they start doing crazy stuff, hacking bits of their body off. It just is what it is. A surprise to me to find out, actually, while we're on the topic of this, is that most American men are circumcised, as my wife informed me. And again, in England, that is not a common thing at all. It's it's not very common at all, very uncommon. So, just interesting. what else do I want to say? That's pretty much it for Fight Club. Let's go through some of the Gematria with some of the names. Okay, we've got Meatloaf. Okay, I hope you can see this. Maybe I can make this just a little bit bigger. Yeah, that's better. Hopefully that'll stay up. I can press the reset button. Meatloaf 73. Remember our jump, our 7700 day jump, and our 33 day jump between all those dates. It wasn't actually 33 days, but it was a 30 day and a 30 day, which we get the 33 from. And again, with the 77, it was 7700. Again, we can take the 77 from that. Okay, the 143, yeah, that's 88 plus 55. The 143 is super important. 1943, Dam Busters. Okay, he plays the bus driver. 118. That's our midpoint of the chart of Lorraine. If you're new here and you know what I'm talking about when I say chart of Lorraine, go back and check my old videos, and you'll discover that the 1118 is that center point. Okay. Robert Paulson. Okay, the guy who plays in Fight Club. 166, 58. And we got a 185 and the 77 again. Okay, so I mean these are all numbers. I'm not going to explain them all. You can see them, and they're all stuff we've covered before. The Squeeze, okay, 131. Yeah, that number on the front of the choo-choo train and Back to the Future. Yeah, Halloween. 50. Okay, our golden anniversary, our bullseye. You know, we can go through all these numbers and Bat. Oh, okay, Bat Out of Hell. We'll do it now because that's what we're going to go on to his songs here in a second. So we've got Bat Out of Hell. Here's our 137 again. The 73, 37, 137. Okay, this is this is significant. This 73 because 73, yeah, L references both our sort of day jumps between these dates of 9/11 and the 10/11 and the 11/10. Okay. And it also references the 42-year jump as well. So pretty interesting stuff. I've got Batman here. I don't know why I was putting that in. I was looking at Bat. Okay. And then this, I have no clue what the hell that is at the bottom there. That was off some, I don't know what that was off of, like a, what was that, off a news clip or something. But that's nothing to do with what we're looking at here. Anyway, the Batman 111, okay, 51, our code, and the 15, our code again for in the dollar bill. Okay, that references our 11th of November and the 155 jump. Okay, stuff that might be flying over the head of certain people watching this now, but I apologize, it is in previous videos. Okay, reset that crap out the way and excuse my French. And let us do this Bat Out of Hell thing. Now you're going to see. You've already seen it, right? Yeah, great. Bat Out of Hell. Okay. This is Back into Hell, right? Now let's look at this. Look at this. Okay, we've got the Chrysler building. Okay, another one of these that was one of the tallest buildings at one point. Buildings. And again, this is another one of these buildings that's shown up recently in people's sort of decoding of stuff, and with the needle and everything and the syringe and all this stuff. But this is probably the most, I'm going to say this is the most Art Deco-y building there is. And we've also got these arches here at the top of this as well. This is a nice reference to the Hoover Dam, this building. For me it is anyway. Just with the amount of Art Deco there is and these arcs, these arches. Okay. We got the bat, and what we got flying in? Yeah, you've guessed it. Bat of Hell 2, Back into Hell. And this would correspond to 9/11. Okay, and in fact we've even got a September the 14th release with a 4-day inclusive thing here from the 11th. You know, with all this resurrection stuff. You know, again, You know, it's not an aeroplane, but you can see what. Just nuts. It's just nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Okay, but it gets better than this. All right, it gets absolutely better than this. Hang on. Let's go to. That's Bat Out of Hell. Hang on. If I just press the back button, I should have been on it. Okay, just to Bat Out of Hell now. Okay, and Bat Out of Hell, coming out of hell, out of the hole, out of the pit, out of the dam. Okay, here we go. What date do we have for the release? October the 11th, 1977. This is a great reference right here. Okay, so we have our Back to the Future October the 11th date, okay, which corresponds again to our November the 10th date, okay, and we have this 1977 in here. Very nice. And I mean, you know, it's absolutely nuts. You can go through some of this stuff, some of these songs, some of these song lengths down here. Maybe it wasn't this one actually. Bat of Hell live, previously unreleased. They've managed to slot that in there with an 11:10 in it. You know, just I don't know. Anyway, I don't even want to go into it. I don't want to waste the time on it. That is basically it right there. Bat Out of Hell. Okay. So I think that's probably going to conclude us for Meatloaf. I can't really think of anything else that's. I mean, you know, you can go through all these, and I am gonna actually. This is one I fancy watching because it's got Samuel L. Jackson in. Okay, and with all the stuff with 187, Pulp Fiction, and just the recent one with Die Hard. You know, it's got to be worth a watch, doesn't it? And the 51 again, and the 15. Okay, so this is, you know, this is how I kind of base some of my stuff that I look at. I kind of just have a look and see, you know, what looks interesting to me, you know, a hole in one, you know what I mean? It just, if that wasn't a 10 reference right there, 1 into the 0, I don't know what, you know, I mean, so you can go through all these and sort of, you know, figure stuff out. I think I'm probably going to leave it there though. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Nothing really else to say about this. It was interesting in the what's the name film, The Squeeze. Meatloaf is he's sweating an awful lot. Okay, it just reminded me of that Katy Perry music video. Oh, I can't even remember the name of it now. You know, the one with the Fatboy Slim sample in it. It's, you know, they know what is what, they don't know what is what, all the rest of that in there. Anyway, it's that Katy Perry video with the girl that sweats a bunch in there. I just thought it was interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna call it good. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. All right, thanks for watching. Cheers, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right, bye.